A Republican state senator just justified a draconian West Virginia bill that would ban abortions after 8 weeks, even in the case of rape. Okay, now he defended this in one of the grossest way possible. He was talking about emails he gets from advocates of abortion rights who had been abused. Then this happened.
Quite often, what these emails say is that that first abuser was a teacher or a pastor or a coach, and you know, the dynamic in these relationships quite often is that the child has a very romanticized view of what's happening. They think this is their boyfriend. Would you agree with that?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Can you imagine ever thinking that a rape victim would have a romanticized view of her rapist? Does he not understand what rape is? Rape is when someone forces themselves sexually onto a person who does not want it. No one who is a rape victim romanticizes that situation ever, ever, ever. This is the sick thought process that conservative men in positions of power have in this country, certainly in a place like West Virginia. In other words, he's saying he can't support an amendment to allow abortions for rape and incest for victims who don't report the abuse to police, because rape victims, by the way, he thinks often have these romantic feelings toward their abusers. That is what he said there. State Senator. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to give a few more details about who this guy is, and then I want to hear what you have to say, Emma, because if you're wondering, who is this guy? State Senator Robert Karnes. He made his remarks during a debate on a highly controversial abortion bill that passed 21-10, but luckily it failed to be reconciled with a House version that does not currently appear to be moving forward. The House-backed version included exceptions for rape and incest up to 14 weeks of gestation, and if a report was made to a qualified law enforcement officer, which, by the way, bad enough, but apparently it wasn't extreme enough for the state Senate. The Senate changed the measure, scaling it back to allow for exceptions in cases of rape or incest until 8 weeks. So the Senate version was even more extreme. Okay, go ahead, Emma. I'm so disgusted by this story.
Me too. Someone should check this guy's hard drive. Like, I'm not even joking.
1000%.
Because this kind of logic is what pedophiles say when they're trying to justify their abuse of children. Because there he specifically, if I'm wrong, Anna, if I'm not wrong, he's talking about a child, right? Because he's basically saying, yeah, they were kind of, how could the rapist know, right? Because the girl was into it, like she was asking for it. So they have a romanticized impression of the man that raped them. And because it wasn't in his mind, I'm sure, a movie depiction of a rape where someone is forced down and violated and their mouth is covered, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I mean, we know people are saying that those kids can't consent, but like she was kind of into it. She was asking for it. So of course she can consent. The guy has no concept of what a power imbalance is. Yes, sometimes children who are molested and abused develop an attachment to their abuser because the abuser portrays their sexual violence and abuse and rape of that child as love. And it causes a lot of ramifications for victims of that kind of violence because they associate this complete violation with affection and love. It causes mass psychological trauma. But the only way for predators to justify that in their mind is to claim that that power imbalance doesn't exist. That the 45-year-old man and the 14-year-old girl, hey, she was loving me. She was into it and she developed romantic feelings for me. So of course it has to be just. It really is. I mean,
let's just call this exactly what it is. Let's be very clear about it. And for all the people who are like, oh, Anna's being hyperbolic, you're an idiot. I'm not being hyperbolic. He just did it openly. okay? In official government proceedings, he is providing cover for child rapists. And he's doing so specifically to ensure that the victim doesn't have the ability to get an abortion after being raped. That is what he did. He's providing cover for child rapists. And to add insult to injury, he wants to prevent that child's ability to get an abortion if she ends up getting impregnated by her rapist, by her abuser. This is who Republicans are.
Yeah, who are the groomers, dude? Who are the groomers here? Because you're literally in the same breath as I'm sure this guy has opinions about trans people and gay teachers in their classrooms, calling them groomers. I'm sure he has that opinion, is saying that children romanticize their rapists, and that's, you can get it, you can understand. Put your mind in the mind, walk a mile in this child rapist shoes. You totally get why he thought that 13-year-old was coming on to him. Psycho, truly.
And guess what? He is outraged that anyone dare call him out for providing cover for child rapists. I'm not even kidding. So while West Virginia news outlets failed to report Senator Karnes' remarks, video of his comments were circulated on social media by Democratic State Senator Joey Garcia. Senator Karnes lashed out at Garcia, tweeting on Saturday, quote, "I would expect better from little Joey, but not a lot better. He does represent a party that protects groomers and pedophiles." I mean, the gall. You just provided cover for child rapists, you disgusting piece of crap, okay? And it's amazing. This is who they are. This is who they are. Here's more. Like everything we see about the Democrats, even the outrage is fake. Yeah, because it's fake outrage when you hear someone provide cover for child rapists and you think it's wrong. That's fake outrage, according to him. The amendment will make it easier for groomers to convince their victims to abort a child.
Called it. Called it.
And hide the evidence. They will continue sexually abusing that child and likely others because Dems protect them from just, no, Robert, you fupa mother effer, okay? No. Okay, you are providing cover for child rapists and you're doing so to protect what? To protect no one and nothing, to ensure that you further victimize the rape victim by forcing her to be pregnant for 9 months, regardless of how old she is, by the way. And like, maybe do a little reading, understand what pregnancy does to a woman's body. And then after that 9 months, you're gonna force that rape victim to go through the traumatic process of childbirth. These people are disgusting, they're monsters. That's what they are, that's it. And they turn around and they accuse the left of being predators because they wanna provide a welcoming environment for students who might be members of the LGBTQ community. No, that doesn't amount to abuse. That amounts to creating a good environment for students to learn in. They don't want that. They hate education. They've shown us time and time again with their defunding efforts of public education. But it is mask off. These Republican lawmakers on a state and federal level, their masks are off. They protect rapists, they victimize rape victims, and they do it proudly. And if you dare call them out on it, they think they're the ones who are the victims. Disgusting, garbage. West Virginia needs to get rid of these disgusting lawmakers. If you want to identify as a conservative Republican, great. But can you at least, in the very minimum, I'm not asking much, elect conservative Republicans who don't provide cover for rapists? Is that too hard to ask?
It's insane, but thanks for the levity with the fupa, right? His mask is off, but there's nothing that can hide that fupa.
I mean, quite
I haven't heard fupa in 10 years. Like, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.